Maya with Enlightened Mystic Essentials. And today we are going to look at our DMs or Divine Masculines, Spiritual and Love reading. So this reading is going to be different because I already received the spiritual message and I received the energy. So it's going to be love, energy, spiritual. That's how it's gonna go. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to the True Love Oracle deck for our True Love messages, right? Then we're going to the Lightworkers Oracle deck, yeah, for spiritual messages, which we already have, correct? Then we're gonna get the energies surrounding the love and the spiritual, right? And then we are going to go to Doorway Gateway to Spirit. Stay there. We need all the help we can get, right? So let's look at energy and then we'll get a love and the spiritual. So the divine masculines are in a time, energy-wise, where a shakeup or upset is coming. Now, I did the spirit and love readings for all elements, right? I did them by elements. And depending on the sign of that divine masculine, there has been a lot of things going on and a lot of truths and a lot of lies or false promises. It's a lot of things getting ready to be exposed, already probably starting. And see this pull of this Scorpio moon, it helps pull out all the secrets, all the darkness, and it dives deep, right? So it has a tendency to pull on the emotions, right? So your energy for the divine masculine is you have a man holding the coins, happy family, right? And what is going on within the situation? How is that divine masculine feeling towards that quote unquote happy family? No patience. You got patience in reverse, right? So you know we're going to dig into that. And for the spiritual message, wow. Okay, you got another one, but it was face down. So what needs to be seen, what needs to be understood for the divine masculines? 3 cards are here. First it was 2. Now you have another one. But this one is face down. So the ones that are face up is hold your century. This is a card of 7, right? And it talks about the divine masculine needing to ground themselves, right? Ground themselves, calm down, center themselves. Why? Because the 5th ray of intellectual knowledge towards their balance is here. This talks about a spiritual gift, or a lot of them tapping into their spiritual side to decipher through all of the confusion and darkness, and letting go of their secrets. So basically bringing clarity to anything or anyone, any group, the society, belief systems that were not true, right? Or that had restricted them in such ways that they are learning how to tap into the spiritual side or the spiritual gifts for clarity. So what we are going to see is the divine masculines are going to start grounding themselves in the spiritual realm for clarity and guidance. And that's what you want. So, it's always about not you moving in the physical, but allowing spirit in the spiritual to guide you in the physical, right? And that's not just for them, that's for everyone. So what is it that we don't see, which was a spiritual connection card in reverse, or upside down, not in reverse? And it is master healing. And this is also a card of 6, right? So what's going on when the divine masculines start to ground themselves in their spiritual realm, or them spiritual selves, and start tapping in to higher self, right? They're going to bring a balance to themselves. And once again, we have all these planets. If you've been watching these videos, right, you have been noticing that there has been a pull for these planets, right? So it's time to learn about yourself, right? And every time I do these love readings, I'm always hot. I get hot. Okay. So let's get our, I can flip this up. All right. Let's get the love. And then we'll go over the energy first. So let's get the love message. Spirit, for the divine masculines. What is it that they need to know, accept, and understand? What is their position at this time in love? All right. I'm hot. Divine masculines, prominent, dominant energy. All right. You got one eye and it's on the ground. So you have grounding of boundaries. Yeah. Setting boundaries. Drawing the line, right? So what is the most injuring numbers at this time are the 2s and the 4s, right? And what is the most injuring or damaging color at this time is the brown. So what makes these numbers and colors so injuring or so dangerous? Because depending on your thoughts, right? And depending on your action, you can toggle from the light to the dark or from positive to negative. So you have to be careful with the 2s and the 4s and anytime you see a brown, right? Because the brown is also a toggle color. So let's get into this energy of what's going on with the divine masculines, happy family that they are losing patience towards. Okay, that's what we're looking at. So this is the energy. So let's get a spiritual connection. Spirit for the divine masculines, you losing patience towards their happy family. What cannot be seen in the physical but is there in the spiritual for the divine masculines? There it is. All right, the well watcher, representing wisdom, power of the divines, and it is a card of 7. It is also main color card brown, right? So let me explain this card. And if you are new to my channel, I'm Leah. I read numbers, colors, and talk to spirits. So the main colors of the card, white, brown, and orange, right? White, brown, and orange. This card is a 7, right? 7 is a number of self-reflection. This talks about them, the divine masculines gaining wisdom or being open to the power of the divines coming in and changing things around, right? Because it's all about self-care, self-love, right? Self-respect, all of that. It's all about self right now, right? So the main colors is white, brown, and orange. The white talks about the purity or the clarity of the brown. The brown is grounding, right? What needs to be grounded. What needs to be stabilized, brought down, settled down, accepted. But brown can toggle from that light or that positive to the dark and negative and be like what needs to be buried, what needs to end, what needs to be rejected. Brown also talks about what is in a root of a situation, what surrounds the situation, or what is within a situation. What is the structure? What is the foundation? And when you talk about foundations of a family, because that's what we talk about, what is the weak points or the access points of the family? What is being seen that the divine masculine is losing patience for? When you talk about the structure, what is going on within a home where the divine family resides? Brown. And then when you get to the orange, what is the orange? The orange talks about obstacles being removed, right? Open way, open road. So it is the clarity is 2 ways. The clarity, right, of grounding or stabilizing, obstacles being removed, okay, or accepted, of the obstacles being removed, right, or the way being clear, right? Or on the toggle side or the flip side, it talks about the rejection, the purity or the clarity of rejecting, obstacles being removed, right? And the way being blocked or the way being closed. So it's either this is a time where they are going to learn to allow, right, the spiritual realm, right, of themselves or within themselves or surrounding themselves to come in here and take over. This also could talk about when they say no patience. This could be that. Obstacles being removed, right? I don't have any patience. So the well watcher and patience, even though it's in reverse, they are both 7. Together they make the 5. What is the 5? Change. So someone is gaining the divine masculines, right? They are gaining their wisdom. They are learning to allow the divines in. And guess what? The divine masculine is also a 7, right? So 7 and a 7 make what? 5. You have changes everywhere. But when it comes to the family, the happy family with the well watcher becomes the 2. What are the 2s? One of the most injuring, damaging numbers on the boards for all signs at this time, right? What are the 2s? The 2s talk about pairs, right? Doorway, gateway, opportunities, missed opportunities, choices, right? Options, decisions that need to be made. 2s also talk about the bonding or the connecting factor to becoming one. The communication factors of conversating and debating. Conversating is the agreements, right? The compromise, the talking over the problem or the situation and making sure that communication is understood, right? Between the 2 factors. But the debating talks about the arguments or the arguing. It could also talk about the law enforcement being called out, the misunderstanding of communication, right? It also talks about negotiations, where if you are you're gonna go to court, or you can be getting a divorce or child support in a separation, right? Negotiations in the courts or the system of law, man law, so you just have to be careful. So now we learn that the divine masculine, right, is changing, right? Whether it's them accepting wisdom, being guided by the spiritual realm, and they're changing patience to no patience. I don't have time for this, right? I've outgrown this. I have to accept this. And it's all pertaining to the decisions and the choices, right, that need to be made about the happy family. See that? So we are going to look at the well watcher. We are going to look into the spiritual message from the higher ups and the divines and divine spirit and see what's going on with this family situation, or what is the knowledge that is being learned, and the actions that may be taken. But don't forget, when you talk about the orange and the brown, it is either accepting obstacles being removed or rejecting the obstacles being removed. Oh, I can't let them go. That's my family. So you would rather stay in a state of depression. You would rather stay in a situation where you struggle. So, So let's go. Spirit for the divine masculines. Clarify the well watcher, please. Okay. You got temperance towards the hangman, right? Divine guidance towards a new perspective. When you talk about divine wisdom, that is temperance, right? And when you talk about wisdom, that is that new perspective. And I'm going to tell you something else about the hangman. Anytime you see a beetle, this is the divines. This beetle represents the divines, right? And then it's funny, even though the hangman is hanging upside down, from the spiritual realm. See those white wings, right? The bird, yeah. And its snake is wrapped up, and I'm going to tell you about the snake. So therefore, the head is closer to the divines because that's a beetle, right? So when you talk about a snake, Depending on its placement, the snake represents different things. But because the snake is high in the air and wrapping around the legs to keep the divine masculine suspended in the air, it talks about bondage, right? And then the snake is facing, look at the snake's face down towards the head. This is a time where the divine masculines are wrestling or being held up in wisdom, spiritual wisdom, because that snake is not on the ground. Divine healing towards a new perspective. It could be so many things, right? Divine guidance. So let's clarify. Spirit, clarify temperance towards the hangman. Facing temperance, the Queen of Swords. Facing, see the Queen of Swords, looking at temperance. Now, let me tell you, we are reading energies, right? So when you talk about the Queen of Swords, who is the Queen of Swords? This is a feminine energy that is so in the situation or surrounding the divine masculine who has been wounded, because feminine energies are the negative energy holders, right? By their logic. So a mental injury has occurred to this feminine Queen of Swords, mental injury. So it could be the divine masculine coming in and having a conversation, right? With, because this is the two, masculine, feminine, right? What are the twos? Pairs, right? Communication factors of conversating and debating. So your divine masculine has went to the karmic, the wife, the girlfriend, whoever they were with, and had a conversation about the family. See that? And what was discussed was the divine masculine is losing patience with the family situation, whether it talks about them being together or the breaking up of a family, divorce, courts. It can be a lot of things, right? So let's see what's under the bottom of the deck. So you got the Three of Cups is here. Three of Cups. The Five of Swords. You have a feminine energy who has been wounded by love. In the reverse. I don't know what to do. Six of Swords. Look at all these mental. Judgment of who? Divine masculine. Wow. Emperor. See that? Keep going. Spirit says keep going. The King of Swords. Someone has it in their logic about divine love. Ace of Cups. Taking action. Knight of Staffs, right? Very quickly. Chariot towards what? Bringing a balance. Look. Six of coin and justice being served. See that? Justice. Let me see what else. Okay. New beginning is here. Okay. So let me backtrack. Y'all know I gotta backtrack. Get my cards back together. Okay, boom. So you have, right, the divine masculine, right, walking away from a feminine energy that is confused in love. Confused because you're not upright, saying that you've been wounded by love. You in reverse. You either do not offer love because you have been wounded by love. You're in reverse. You see? So it talks about the divine masculine walking away from someone who cannot give love, someone who does not have love. See, walking away, Five of Swords, to go towards a reconciliation. You see that? Three of Cups. Or to third parties, people who are on the outside, right? This could be friends. They could be going towards work. They could be going back home to their parents, right? Society, community, groups. It just depends on what the Three of Cups is. But they're leaving someone who is not giving them love because they have wounded them in love, right? and they're going back to their old way of being, or, like the old people who they used to hang out with, right? So when you talk about the Five of Swords, and let me tell you something, the Five of Swords have been coming out for all signs. You have the divine masculine having a spark. That's the illumination of the mind, right? Dressed in orange. What did I tell you orange was? Obstacles being removed. Same orange, same orange. You see? Same orange. Having that spark, right? To move forward, because the way is being cleared, even though they don't see the way being cleared, and they're carrying their heartbreak, but they're leaving the indecision behind. What is the indecision? Who's closest to the Two of Swords? The Queen of Cups in reverse. And they're going back over here to what makes them feel good, where they can party, because this is the Three of Cups, right? Where they can get it off of their mind, right? So they're telling you that the Emperor, which is the divine masculine, is moving forward with judgment. Look, moving forward, Six of Swords, with the judgment of the Emperor. Six of Swords talks about orange again. Look, orange again. The indecision of love and defeat. But we know it's not defeat, because you told us that this person wasn't giving you love, right? No communication in love. That bird, right? Everything is upside down, right? So the indecision of defeat and the moving forward, or the way being cleared, that's the orange boat, over the water. What is the water? Water talks about emotions being cleansed and clear, because it's a cleansing agent, right? And it also talks about getting back, or what happened in a life situation, or that bounce back to life of the recoveries. Four swords, right? So giving that judgment. So now you have the divine masculine, right? When they come in and make their judgment to move forward, they come in here bossed up in their divine masculine energy. I'm done. I'm finna go. I can't do this, right? That's that happy family. That's that conversation, right? So now they switch into, right, the King of Swords. Now, what lets us know that it's about the family, because don't forget, the new perspective towards the Queen of Swords is here, who has been injured by the mental. You two are the pair. You see that? Coming up in here. The Emperor has switched to the King of Swords, right? And your logic is strong, right? Your mental is solid, because the masculine energy is the positive hold of energy. And as the King of Swords, you telling me, I know what I know, right? I know what I know. What do you know? I know I need to move towards my divine love, so I'm getting ready to take action. See that? Getting ready to take action. My mental towards my divine love, I'm taking action. See that? Okay? Quickly. Bringing in that balance. See that? Quickly bringing in that balance, because here's the chariot coming in. And what is it pulling behind it? The Six of Coin, which is that balance, or that compromise. So that makes us question, when you leave the Queen of Cups, or no love, right? The injury of love and not sure, and the confusion. When they tell us you're going back to the Three of Cups. Three of Cups could be reconciliation, because you're telling us you're going back to bring a balance to something, right, that needed justice. Who or what? You just told us, as a solid king, I'm going towards my divine love, and I'm taking action. Taking action to do what? Come in quickly. See that? Bring a balance, Six of Coin, and justice will be served. You see that? So now we've learned what is going on within this home situation. What have we learned? This Queen of Swords is not giving love. You see that? That's the same person. And the Emperor, yeah, is is being divinely guided. You see that? Towards a new perspective or a new outlook on things. That is going to cause them to walk away. Bye-bye. See, all this movement, right? Move quickly, chariot, right? And final decision towards movement, what? Forward. And who are they going towards? Mentally solid towards my divine love to bring justice. You see that? So they're getting ready to move. Getting ready to move. And that is just the energy, right? So that's good, right? So they no patience. I'm getting ready to move out of this situation. So now let's go and look and see what's going on within this love. So you have boundaries. Setting boundaries. Laying down the law, right? So boundaries is a card of 2. But the thing that I want you to notice, that this is a feminine energy, right? Feminine. So what are the tools? Pairs, doorway, gateway, opportunities, missed opportunities, decisions, choices, options. 2 becoming 1. The bonding factors or the connecting factors, right? Of 2 situations or 2 people, right? It also talks about conversating and debating. So boundaries and borders have been laid down or are getting ready to be laid down. So the main colors in the background, I'm shuffling. Purple, pink, and red. So let's look. And the moon is here. I want you to start noticing the moon that is coming out more and more for a lot of signs, right? And a lot of these readings. So you have the moon representing spiritual wisdom, and it is the power of spiritual wisdom because the moon is located in the purple. See the purple, the pink, and the red. Purple talks about power or empowerment of the pink. What is the pink? The pink can be a lot of things. Pink talks about friendships, right? Relationships, passion, compassion, partnerships, like in business, it doesn't matter. Pink talks about peace, joy, happiness, kindness. It's a lot. But at the bottom, what is it grounded? What is it rooted in? Love or defeat. You see that? So the power, right, of spiritual wisdom towards the pink, friendship, partnership, situationship, happiness, peace, towards love or defeat, right? See that? And then the thing about it is this feminine energy, right, is telling us a lot. Because what makes you that feminine energy? It could be you having your heart shielded, because that heart is surrounded in a shield. Talks about you not having your heart open or available. Let's see. Not seeing strength, that's the tiger. Maybe not gaining wisdom. It just depends, right? It's a lot going on. So we're going to look and see what the energies are. What is it that is going on? And then on top of that, you're in a cave. That's the cave. And the cave is gray. Gray talks about confusion. Or are you hiding? Boundaries, tools, right? So let's see what the energy is. Spirit for the divine masculine. What are the energies or the energy surrounding borders and boundaries of the divine masculine? Ooh. You have the temple path, the creation of the temple path, right? The creation of the temple path, spiritual connection. Boundaries and borders, right? Towards the spiritual connection. And these 2 make the 5. More changes. 5. So let's see what the spiritual wisdom is. Spirit, what cannot be seen in the physical but is there in the spiritual for borders and boundaries towards the spiritual connection. Whew. The desert prince going into survival mode, facing these emotions, talking to the spiritual realm. This is a card of 1 going into survival mode. So when you talk about the Desert Prince. The main colors of this card is white, blue, and brown. The purity or the clarity of, that's the white, and the blue being calm, being relaxed, being in a peaceful state, being, in a tranquil state, or being in chill mode. But because it is surrounded by the brown, they're either going to accept it or they're going to reject it. And when you look at these Desert Prince, what is going on? You have the moon. I told you to pay attention to the moons, talking about spiritual wisdom. I told you a lot of them are going into the spiritual realm. When you look at the pyramid, it talks about ancient wisdom, right? And here is the water. What is the water? Emotions, right? Being cleansed and clear, free of blocks, right? And it talks about what is going on within a life or a bounce back to life, rejuvenation of life. Here is the lion pushing forward with the strength, right? But they're dressed in brown. Their bottom is in brown and their chest is bare. Heart is open, right? But they're either um grounded in acceptance, or they're grounded in their rejection towards the heart. You see? So you either are going to accept this spiritual connection, see that? Or you're going to reject it. But it depends upon the feelings. That's the blue and that's the water, right? So let's look into boundaries. So all together, right? 5, 6. Bringing a balance to a situation. These 3 cards make the 6. Bringing a balance to borders and boundaries of the spiritual connection based upon the feeling of the divine masculine, right? Acceptance or rejection, right? Depends on what they want to do, right? So spirit, clarify borders and boundaries towards the spiritual connection. One end is injuring, right? And on the other end, it's like they're gaining their strength. Look, feminine, masculine. Yeah. Boundary spirit. Wounded warrior. 9 of staff. What is or who is the wounded warrior? Someone who has been injured by action, emotions, right? Mental or spiritual injury. Someone who has been injured. They are down right now, no movement because they're down on the ground. They have the red upon the head, right? And it's a little bit of white right there and red on the bottom. So the purity and the clarity of love or defeat as they journey in love or defeat. But this person is getting ready to take action because they have a new journey in their hand, which is the Ace of Staff, right? But they're waiting on some type of communication. That's the Eight of Staff in the background. To move forward or not, to turn around and face the spiritual connection or not. See how they have their back towards the spiritual connection, or to get their emotions in check and go within the spiritual realm and accept the communication that they're looking for. It's like they're looking away from everything. They're looking away from the spiritual connection, everything they have their back turned to, waiting on communication to move forward along a new journey. So when you talk about communication, because see, they're on grounds of confusion. That's the great ground. You see that? They're kneeling on confusion. And when you talk about the ground, that is that rejection or that acceptance factor. Mm-hmm. They'll get it together. Spirit, clarify the 9 of staff, please. In front of. What are you looking for? What are you looking at? What are you ready to move forward towards? My balance. 6 of coin. That compromise. Because this card fell out in front of the 9 of staff, right? Compromise, balance, resolving of issues. Clarify the 6 of coin towards the 9 of staff, spirit. Towards the 6 of coin. Recovery, baby, that balance. Recovery. The 4 of swords. What is the 4 of swords? Clarity of the mind, right? from out of the darkness, right, into the light as they either journey in defeat or love, right? Hanging up that heartbreak of confusion, because that wall is gray, 3 of swords, as they face, right, the creation, because it's 3 white blocks of bricks, 1, 2, 3, the creation of purity, of facing divine truth. That's the Ace of Swords. So finding their truth, finding their balance. What is up under the bottom of the deck? Let's get a backstory and see what's going on. You have the King of Cups. I'm like the King of Coin. The Lovers is here. See? 5 of Cups. 3 of Staff. 2 of Swords. The Devil showed up to the party. 5 of Staff. King of Staff. Want to take action towards that building up and advancement. See that? Let me see. Choosing a new plan, divine love. Okay, Emperor is here. The High Priestess is here. Family, victory, new beginning. It's a lot going on, but I'm going to stop, right? So, when you talk about the recovery, hold on, let me get my cards together. Okay. So, recovery towards what? I see a mental recovery, right? See that? Mental. Recovery of action. See that? Staff. And recovery of the physical and material realm, right? Solid coin, right? Value. Recovery. 3 recoveries. So what's going on or what has happened is the King of Cups, right? Who is the heavy energy holder of love that is telling us that I have plenty, right? I'm abundant, right? And I want a new journey, staff, and love, cups, right? This what makes me the masculine energy holder of love, positive, right? But the lover situation, I'm feeling regret. See the cups. I'm feeling regret. The releasing of my attachments could be the family, could be friends, whatever the 3 of Cups is, and not seeing my 2 of Cups or the relationships situationship, because my head is bowed in defeat, right? The illumination is in the back. That's the goal. And I journey in defeat. And I have no action because I've laid my staff down. See? Regret away from the lovers, or regret pertaining to the lovers. Even though I have a lot of love, right? I feel regret. I'm regretting. I'm regretting. Cause see how the 5 of Cups is away from the lovers. I regret, right? What do you regret, King of Cups? What are you regretting outside? Or we know it pertains to the lover. What are you regretting? I'm regretting not taking action still yet. Because see, in this 3 of Staff, you hold a new journey up, saying you're ready to move forward, but you have not completely walked through the thresholds. See that? 2 of Staff, doorway, gateway, thresholds, tools, movement forward. But why have you not moved? Because the indecision. I'm indecisive. And here you have a dog that represents friend or enemy, right? And 9 times out of 10, it is someone who is in your ear, in your mental, because the dog faces you and the devil is behind you. See that? I don't know which way to go. You're surrounded, right? Surrounded, feeling trapped. And this indecision, up the moon, look at the moon, and the sky is gray confusion, right? And this devil has caused you to stop or has created your block in action, because it's a conflict of action and the devil is looking that way, right? Towards the 5 of Staff. Conflict of action. But what is this conflict of action causing? The King of Staff to have to face the conflict of action, right? And the king of staff is going to be victorious, right? Because the 5 of staff plus the king's staff make the 6 of staff. It may take time because you have the devil pushing forward the conflict. That's that stop block. See how the devil is pushing towards that 5 of staff, towards the king of staff, and the king of staff say, you know what? In order for me to get over it, I must face it. And when I say victory is here, because the 8 of coins is also backing the staff, king of staff. See? What is pushing it forward? Like go over there and, conquer the devil, or go over there and outsmart the devil, or take action to beat the devil, whatever, So what is the 8 of coin? The king of staff, or the king of love, because you love, right? And then all of these emotions, and for the lovers, they came out, right? Then you jump out of the king of cups and you turn into the king of staff. That's that action. And here come all of these swords. See this? Sword, staff. All the staffs come out. Even the devil has a staff. You know what I mean? And the only mental block, that recovery, you must get over it to face it. You see that? The only mental block is the 2 of swords. That's the only swords. That's why I said value and the action and mental. What is the value? The lovers, because cups is surrounding lovers. That's value. And at the end of the way, or the pathway, you have coin. You see? So when you talk about the 8 of coin, what is the 8 of coin? The 8 of coin talks about the king of cups being on a valuable pathway. That's that staff, see? Having value in your hand, that's that cup, see? And the tool you need, which you have plenty, the fish, right? To build up a balance. That's why I said they're going to be successful. It may take some time because the devil is there blocking and stopping, but they'll get over it. So sometimes you have to understand and look from a different point of view. Maybe the divine masculine isn't coming in because they're trying to protect the spiritual connection. And they must go into survival mode to fight for it. You see that? So you just be careful. That's why I always told you guys, don't never talk down. Don't never talk down. Because you could be the one to wound them, slow them down, delay. So be careful with your thoughts and what you say, how you feel. You always look at all situations in a positive manner, right? So let's look at the last focal point or message for the divine masculines, which is the spiritual. Yes. And see what's going on, right? So let's go back over the spiritual. What must be done for the divine masculines? They must center themselves, ground themselves. A card of 7 representing self-reflection to gain or earn the balance of intellectual knowledge. Now, let me tell you about this intellectual knowledge. The whole time we've been looking at the divine masculine, intellectual knowledge, or that spiritual gift, has been there. Look. In the beginning, for the energy, you had the whale watcher representing divine, right? Power of the divines, and the wisdom, 7. See that? And then you have the love factor of the divine masculine setting borders or boundaries or fighting for the spiritual connection, right? So that would be going into survival mode. See? Brown. Both of the cards are brown. Brown. So this is where it can get tricky. But what lets us know that it's all about divine? The 7 and the 1 makes the 8 together. What is the 8? Calling for a spirit in a situation. Spiritual. See? Transformations, right? Spiritual rebirth and rejuvenations. Transformations. What is going on? Settling down these emotions so the way can be cleared, right? To gain access to that spiritual connection. It's all about the temple path, right? So it's always been there. And don't forget, what else has always been here? The moon. Spiritual wisdom. The moon. See that? The moon has always been there. So, centering yourself, right? So you can connect or receive a balance within your mental. Because your mind controls how you act, right? And it all pertains to master healing. Master number 33 makes the 6. Balance. So let's look at the energy. Spirit, what surrounds hold the century? What is the energy here for the centering of the divine masculines? Mental. Must settle that mental. 7, crown. This is the card of 5. What needs to change? The mental towards settling, calming down, grounding yourself. You see that? And for the 5th ray of intellectual knowledge, being balanced. Yes. What is the energy that surrounds this for the divine masculines at this time? We looking, y'all. Coming out that garden and that gate. Come out the gate. Go out the gate. Do not stay stuck. The garden and the gate. Everybody has had the garden and the gate. It's a creation. It's a card of 3. Staying stuck. No movement. Being distracted by the flowers or looking for change because there's butterflies, right? But even though you are looking at the butterflies or you're looking at flowers, why are you staying still? Because your basket holds flowers. You cannot gain any more flowers, right? And then if you notice, this is a feminine energy, right? Weakness. And then they wear a pink dress. So what is the pink? Being injured, and joy, of peace, of love, passion, compassion, relationship, situationship, being injured and stuck. But where do we need you? Outside of the gate and all the vastness of greenery. What is the green? The green talks about abundance, wealth, success, right? Forward movement, green light. But you are caged, trapped, jailed in. You see that gate? No movement. The creation. Needing you to gain knowledge, right? So you can move forward. Because the intellectual side is going to push you forward. So you can earn your balance. Gain your healing. Look at that. Look. The garden and the gate in the middle. Looking at that healing factor, bringing a balance, and both of these surrounded, and this garden and the gate is surrounded by balance. Balance. And then, so you have 3 and 3. It's all, everything makes balance. 6, 6, 6, 6 is everywhere. 6, 6, right? That makes the 3. These two make the 3 plus that 3, 6. So all these 3 cards make what? 6. Balance. All about balance. Balance. Master healing. Balance. 6. Master number 33. Spirit, what is the energy surrounding the master healing for the divine masculines? Daughter spirit. Spiritual. Spiritual wisdom. Spiritual knowledge. Spiritual. Daughter spirit. That is going to bring forth what? That change. Card of 5. So let's look into master healing. Let's see what's going to be learned or what actions are going to be taken, for movement, change, daughter spirit. So spirit, for the divine masculines, clarify master healing. What is going on in this master healing? And then the thing about master healing, knowledge, book, clarity. This person or this master wears blue, being calm, being relaxed, being happy, in a peaceful state of learning. The book, planets. See? Clarify master healing spirit for the divine masculines. What is master healing for the divine masculines? Clarify, Master, Healing Spirit. Divine Masculine. This is the Divine Masculine's card. King of Coin, King of Value. Pathway or journey of value. Right? Heavy, major, solid, positive. Right? Clarify the King of Coin, Spirit. Facing a home situation or returning home. What do you view, right, as valuable? Because the home of the Ten of Cups is by the coin and the abundance of the great. So the abundance of power to be solid or stable in a home situation. See that? Clarify the Ten of Cups. King of Coin. Dang, that came out so fast. Over the house or over the home situation towards the King of Coins is that Two of Coins, juggling, struggling. See that? Two of Coins. Grounds of confusion, not sure which way to go, what to do, right? Even though I'm solid, I'm still unsure. Facing a home situation, right? Clarify the Two of Coins. Queen of Coin, a feminine energy that has been injured by value. Whether it is, right? You saying to yourself, oh, I need the divine masculines, they need to figure it out. Because what is being juggled, right? Which a situation is getting ready to be healed. What are the two valuable things in the King of Coins life at this time? What is valuable? A home situation and the divine feminine. You see that? But I am juggling, struggling because I'm not sure. Grounds of confusion. One need infinite cycle, constant cycle, and the other foot out. Right? One is constant rotation of confusion, and the other one you feel like you got a foot or a step up, step ahead. You know what I mean? So let's keep going because we need to see what's going to be healed. Right? What's under the bottom of the deck? Spirit says, what's under the bottom of the deck? So let's look at this backstory or see what's going on within this situation. Remove these cards. Right? So you have the Two of Staff. That is that willpower to go through the threshold. Right? The King of Cups. The Sun is here. Justice is here. Yeah. The Knight of Staff is on the move. The Eight of Cups is here. Temperance is here. Ten of Staff is here. We're going to find out the end result. The Six of Cups is here. The Seven of Coin is here. The Two of Swords is here. And the Queen of the Feminine Swords is here. Okay. I ain't gonna go no more, even though I want to. Give me a second. Let me get my cards together. All right. So, the King of Cups, right? Or someone who embodies love heavily. King of Cups, right? They're looking to move forward or they're learning to gain their willpower. Look at the moon. Facing the moon. The King of Cups is over there. They told us they were on a new journey in love, but they're looking for the willpower or they're getting ready to enter through the threshold because spiritual wisdom has been gained, right? Forward movement, taking action to move forward when they build up their willpower to move, right? To go. Everything is going to be okay. I just need to move forward, right? And the sun is illuminating that justice is going to be served for the King of Cups. You see that? Sun in the middle, justice, right? Yes. The sun is going towards the King of Cups, and look at justice. Justice is serving, right? Balance to what situation or towards what? Towards the movement. Now you got the King of Cups coming up in here, jumping into the Knight of Staff, the Knight of Action. And what is justice pushing the Knight of Staff towards? A new plan. New plan. And once again, spiritual. It's up in here. Getting in contact and facing and accepting those emotions. Yeah. Towards, right? The feelings or the pulling of the divines. Temperance is here. And then temperance is here. And when you talk about this new plan, right, that is the feeling or the guidance and the spiritual towards the divines, right, going with the flow of the divines, right, what is temperance going towards? What is temperance going towards? Ten of Staff. Being divinely guided or led or healing, right? The Ten of Staff. What is the Ten of Staff? The King of Cups, right? Or the Knight, because he changed into the Knight, or they changed into the Knight upon a new journey. That is the Ace of Staff, right? Outside or away with the Nine of Staff, being a wounded warrior. You see that? Then they tell us what wounded you, or what pushes your new path, that Ace of Staff, forward. Because I left someone in the past, right, with regret. That's the Five of Cups, right? As I journey, Staff, in love, Ace of Cups, right? But why did you leave, the person in the past with regret? Because I was unfulfilled. See that? Seven of Coins. I was unfulfilled. And then they tell us, right, the creation of the block, the Three of Coins, right, and the Four of Coins. What was the creation of you being blocked, stopped, or holding back? Three of Coins, the creation of the regret of leaving someone, right? And you had to face what? An indecision. I was unsure about leaving someone in the past with regret, leaving the regret in the past and leaving that person in the past. I was unsure. See that? I was unsure. Unsure about who or what. The Queen of Swords. Someone who had been mentally injured. Why? Because you had told us in the beginning that you didn't have any patience for the family. That Queen of Swords? Yeah. And we're going to dig a little deeper. All right? So, what was the problem, right, with the Queen of Swords, or the one who had been mentally injured? We're going to read a little bit more. Mentally blocked within one's mind. See that? Turning their back on you being stuck, or the divine masculine being stuck. Offering no assistance because you are mentally wounded. You see? And why were you mentally stuck, divine masculines? I was mentally stuck about that completion. Was it over with? The situation? What situation? The family situation? What family? What situation are we speaking of? Or was it the boundaries and the borders? You see that? Was it the patience? Hold on, y'all. Let me get it. What were you mentally stuck about? Because you told us you were running out of patience with the family situation, right? So were you tired of sitting in the Eight of Swords and you wanted a completion? Or were you tired of sitting in the same position with your head down because you have created, or you needed to bust down those borders and barriers towards the divine feminine? You ready for a completion? You ready, right? Say yeah. But how do we know that you are ready to end certain situations? Oh, because I've been praying and wishing for that completion. See how the star is going towards the completion, right? And when the completion comes, what happens? I can be out of my mental worry. Look, I can be out of mental worry. Oh, Dad, you ready to go now? See that? Ready to go. Yeah. And when you leave out of your mental worry, what are you doing? I'm journeying. See that? I'm journeying, hermit. And when you journey, where are you going, or what are you doing? I'm turning into the King of swords, a logical king, a solid king. About who? About someone who is independent, stable, single, right? Now let me tell you about the 9 of coins. This person could be waiting on a message because it's a feminine energy. Wounded. But what is this person wounded by? Something solid, right? Something that they want. Something valuable, right? This person could be waiting on communication, and the bird represents red, which is love or defeat, right? But they tell us that this person was being held back, 4 coins, right? Held back, holding something in, pertaining to a loss, 5 of coins. Who was the loss? The King of Swords, because the King of Swords is on the same side as the 5 of coins. See, loss, right? So what are you waiting on? What are you waiting on? I told you they waiting on hold. What are you waiting on? The king or the knight, sorry. See that? What are you waiting on? The knight to come in with a solid offer. To offer what? Happiness. And I'm going to tell you something else. That offer is going to be the problem of the family. So it could stand back to when they're telling us that the divine masculine does not have any patience for the family anymore, because they come in. When I say I'm reading after this deck, they're telling us that it's going to be a conflict of action towards the family and the situation, right? And guess what else is here? The moon. The moon towards the end. Spiritual wisdom, reflection, deception, the unseen, the unknown, spiritual wisdom, spiritual guidance towards the end. Mental. When you end one situation, you bounce back to life, or rejuvenation of life is here because this person lays in the water. Their mental is being cleared because that is the orange, and their journey is being purified, and the obstacles are being removed along their journey because they wear the white and the orange. So it's a lot going on, right? So these are the emotions. This is the mental struggle, and these are the paths. And this is what needs to be done as far as action, and this is what will be done. But it's like a cycle, because now they're telling us that the offer is going to be the injury of the family, but you came in telling us this could be a way out as well from the family situation, but you came in telling us you don't have any patience for the family, right? And the reason why I say a way out, because they're telling us at the end of it all, that is that offer, that same coin that you have in your hand that you're going to offer someone else, is the reason why the family is going to be in turmoil and getting ready to end. So it's like a cycle. That's what I see. So listen, I'm Leah, and this is the Divine Masculines Spirit plus Love, or Love Connections reading. And until I see you for your energy reads, take care, work it out, figure it out.